I'm a big fan of Kairosoft games, and I hope I said that right. And when you first start up this app, in order to bring up the start menu, you either have to click on the screen if you're using Knox or BlueStacks emulator on your computer, or tap the screen if you're using an Apple or Android device. My Android tablet is getting a little tired, and I was unable to record any of the gameplay on it, so I'm using BlueStacks for this. I use BlueStacks because you don't have to jump through hoops getting your apps on it that you already own. It's pretty much right there when you fire up the app, the Google Play Store. Bottom line, Knox Player and BlueStacks are fairly equal overall. BlueStacks doesn't currently support screen recording, so I'm using AMD Relive to record the gameplay. This is a start from scratch game. I don't have any of the carryover data from my tablet because I've already completed a couple of times, and you get to carry over things like combos learned and whatnot so that they're already in your list, so you don't have to remember them. So this is how most people will start out. This is just mainly a video series of tips for Pocket Harvest. I usually play a Kairosoft game for a month or more, or several months in some cases, before starting or playing another one in my library. You do kind of have to place your fields near houses, to your employees' houses, or move your employees' houses closer to fields. It just depends on what's going on at that point in time in the game for you. These little newsletters pop up. Sometimes they're annoying and don't really offer any new information, but sometimes they will let you know whether a crop is popular and the price is going up on it, or if the crop is not popular, in which case, and if you're not doing any missions, you can just delete that crop temporarily if you want, because they do lose money. As I mentioned before, you do want to have your workers closer to fields if possible, or the fields closer to workers, because they have a limited range and they use up their stamina the further they travel. If you're low on funds, when it's time to hire workers, try and hire the ones with higher work and stamina, and if they have high knowledge, that's also good. But the higher the work, the more they can do, and the higher the stamina, the longer they can work before having to go back home and rest. Some of the environmental items, like the sunflowers that they're talking about here, add bonus points to your traits of your crops. Cherry tree will add taste, sunflowers will add texture, bamboo will add aroma, and pine trees will add beauty or looks. Combos built near fields also add bonuses. If you look towards the bottom of the combo pane here, it'll tell you what if it adds to a crop or whatnot. Be careful when buying more land. Make sure that you have a good buffer, more than what you need when you're buying land, so that you're not going into the red just after buying land and waiting for your money to recuperate. You do have to pay maintenance fees and your workers' salaries. That's why I'm saying that. Once you acquire your first facility or shop, you are greeted with a mission. Basically, they will give you seeds, and you make the crops with the seeds and raise the crops and give the product to the shop. It varies in difficulty and requirements later on, but the first mission is pretty straightforward and easy. You still can fail it, but it's easy. It's pretty easy. The yellow border indicates how far out you can plant crops away from that shop, and the shop can still receive those crops for remission. In the beginning, you can receive cards that help crops. They're self-explanatory when you look at the descriptions. Later on, you can make those cards. Once you've completed a mission, you're rewarded. In the beginning, it's mostly money, but later on, you get other things that are mostly useful. Sometimes, depending on when you actually complete the mission, they may not be. I am not quite sure what the Almanac does, other than you reaching each level before 16 years, 3rd month, towards your clear points. Crop cultivation. You can either increase the number of crops per particular fruit or vegetable or livestock, or you can increase the quality. They all start at E, and as far as I know, I haven't played it long enough, I don't think there's anything higher than A. There might be an S, like in other Kairosoft games, but I have found that as long as when you're increasing the number of crops for a particular field or livestock, 85% doesn't fail, or it might have a rare failure rate, but if you're just increasing 85%, you just need 85% to increase the number. However, though, I have failed at 99% success rate trying to increase the quality, especially when you start hitting B trying to get to A. So you want a 100% success rate using as many of your research points as possible. Greenhouses will allow you to grow certain, well, any crop year round. They all have their own seasons, and you can't farm them if they're out of season unless you have a greenhouse nearby. Greenhouse, when you drop it, will show you what fields it covers as you set it down, or move it around before you set it down. Alright, you get items that can boost your workers' stats. They have 4 stats. They have, or 3 stats, I'm sorry. Stamina, knowledge, and work. Stamina is how long they can work before they get tired and have to go home and rest. But you can circumvent that to an extent with equipping them with a boxed lunch. Their work boosts the produce that can be harvested at any given time. They have a base and then something, their work helps determine how much more they can actually pick at one time. And then their knowledge boosts chances of successful cultivation, be it increasing field numbers or increasing the quality of the field or crop. Equipment boosts either the amount they can harvest in one go or the distance they can travel. You can do investments that increase the number of visitors, the number of facilities, and other things that can net you money. The first one you really want to do is your tourism pamphlets, and that's what starts drawing in customers, and then it just snowballs from there. You can perform 3 investments at one time. When you start picking up the tour investments, you can only do 1 tour at a time, but you can do a tour and 2 other investments at the same time. Once that tour is over, you can do a 3rd regular investment. It's up to you, but you can do 3 at a time. Based on the numbers I see here after the first year, I'm assuming you're starting out in 1000th place and you have to work your way up to number 1, and you only have 16 years to do it, which after playing it a few times you might be able to with all the carryovers from each game. But you get judged on how much you ship out, how much you harvest, how many tourists you attract, and how well you equip and treat your staff. Some of your staff score is based on how much knowledge, stamina, or work they learn as they go about their daily tasks. Alright, so that's basically what it's like starting out in this game. It's not too terribly difficult, but it is kind of complex. There's a lot to keep track of. There's a lot you have to wait for. There are some things that you probably watch my video and see that you could do better, like placement of combos, etc. in your fields, whatnot. And in the next video, I will go over combos and placement of various environmental facilities in regards to crops and improvements.